or coaching that wins games. I have literally lost my mind with the idea that it's talent. Talent is not what wins games. I'll say it again. For the hard of hearing, talent does not win games. For those people who may just need to see it in close capturing, talent does not win games. We have had proof every year, year in and year out. And before somebody comes in here and says, well, it's football, Luke, any given Sunday, I call hogwash on that. Let's go down the list. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is a very talented team. I'm pretty sure many of us will argue that they probably have one of the most talented teams in the league. Yet they somehow can't seem to find the end zone with a team like the Saints, who have a quarterback that most of us don't even know is even a quarterback. But you know what? We know that the more talented team did not win. We can go back a little bit back in history. Let's talk about the New England Patriots. They went undefeated, ran their way through the entire NFL nonstop, only to get to the Super Bowl against a wild card team and drop an egg. Why? Because the most talented team does not win. That is not what wins games. The Detroit Lions at 1-11-1, yes, right, 1-11-1, managed to outduel a team that was grossly more talented than them, allegedly. And the worst part about it is this: that team couldn't score a singular touchdown for 3.5 quarters and didn't get a field goal until after the half. I want people to stop with this idea that it's talent. You have to win games by talent. What happened to coaching? You remember when they were playing musical chairs with quarterbacks over there in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh somehow had a guy named Dustin Duck, who I'm not even sure is even a real human being. It sounds like a made-up character from a Disney cartoon. But you know what? They still found a way to win with them. And in fact, if you just go over and look at some of the other things, you look at some of the other games where you had to talk about talent. I watched a Jacksonville Jaguar team demolish a Buffalo Bills team. Are you going to tell me Jacksonville is more talented than the Buffalo Bills? See, I've come to a conclusion. You can't have it both ways. Either it's talent that wins game or it's coaching. And to me, it has always been, and it will forever be coaching. Coaching wins games. I've seen the worst of the worst teams do some things that they should not be doing, filled with all type of injuries. I'll give you a perfect example. Using my own team, the Detroit Lions. Can y'all name to me the players on defense that started in that game against the Arizona Cardinals? In fact, don't even waste your time. There was a guy named Will Harris who sucked. I'm going to say it again. He sucked as a safety. And they somehow thought, let's move him to cornerback. Huh? Where they do that at? Where that's some stuff you do in Madden when you ain't got nobody else to put in that position. And you put that person at cornerback and he performs against some receivers that he really should not be performing against. Why? Because coaching is good. Most of the players who play on the Lions, I couldn't even name. There's a tight end named Zisteria, which sounds like a medication you take on one of the commercials while everyone is smiling at the discovering they have the worst ailment in life. Even though the side effects tell you it's going to cause internal bleeding, 100% hemorrhaging, and it's probably going to rupture your spleen. But they're happy about it. They have great lives with this Zisteria. People, stop subscribing to false narratives. Good coaching brings up the best. The New England Patriots wasn't always the most talented team. They was always the best coach. And there's other things that you can look at going all the way to college sports. When you look at teams like Davis that had a small yellow melanelin, beautiful young man named Stephon Curry, as he can come down and hit threes and nobody gave him a chance. Or remember the year of the Gonzaga? Why in the hell was Gonzaga beating teams that was not more talented than them? It's because the coaching is the most important part. And we have to destroy this narrative day in and day out. We see this come, we see this go, we see this happen. And the reality is the most talented teams don't win. And if you don't believe me, simply look over to the Rams, who has literally tried to buy itself a few Super Bowls and it has failed. It has not worked out. In fact, they basically sold out, give up first round picks every year, and have yet to yield a singular championship out of it. What wins games, people, is not talent, it is scheme, and that scheme is often created by the coach. Now, Buck is probably ready to pounce on me.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I'm on the exact opposite. There's no question about that in my mind. So Luke G, before I get into my spill, let me ask you a few questions here. Did you see the Packers Ravens game on Sunday, or the highlights at least?
I did. I saw the whole game.
Did you see that pass that Aaron Rodgers made to the receiver over the middle? I can't think of his name right now, but the ball was put there perfectly.
Valdez Scanley.
Yeah, the ball was put there perfectly, right?
Yep.
Did Aaron Rodgers make that play, which is the talent, or did Matt LaFleur make that play, which is the coaching?
Well, Aaron Rodgers made the play.
Okay.
But who called the play?
Matt LaFleur called the play.
Yeah, but see, we can't keep passing go and collecting $200 without starting at the origin of it. It's not like these players are out there creating these plays in the dirt like it was in the back in the old day. No, somebody is creating a game plan to attack another person's weakness. That's not coming from the players. That's coming from the coach. So yes, was the play made by Aaron Rodgers to throw that ball perfectly over the middle? Hell yes, it was made by him. However, the beautiful play design to get the guy open was even more beautiful.
Well, the guy wasn't open. The guy was not open. That was perfect coverage. Let's just be honest about that.
I mean, listen, but in the NFL, that's open. I mean, the same thing happened with the Lions when they ran the underneath route with Amon-Ra St. Brown and he threw it over the top. This is just good play design. I mean, I remember when the Miami Dolphins back in the day didn't have a quarterback, they decided to deploy the Wildcat. And it blew everybody up like this Wildcat. That's coaching. So before we get into who made the play, who called it?
Okay, so Luke, it is time to give you some real knowledge here. Okay, so I know that you are a coaching guy. So full disclaimer here: I am a defensive coordinator at a 6A high school here in Indiana. I give my kids the best possible scheme that I think that will win the game, right? So when they win, I would love to take all the credit, right? But I'm not out there making the plays. I'm not out there putting my body on the line, play after play after play. I am not reading. I can say watch screen, but I'm not in the game seeing the lineman let the defensive lineman go through and seeing the screen play, right? So the coaching can put the perfect scheme out there. The coaching can call the perfect plays. The coaching can move your safety to a cornerback because he thinks that the talent can play that position, right? So everything lines up to the talent taking over the coaching atmosphere. So yes, a coach might call a quote a perfect play, but the talent has to read the perfect play. The talent has to make the perfect pass. The talent has to catch the ball. The coach is only one aspect of a eight aspect point of the play. The talent has to snap the ball. The talent has to receive the snap. The talent has to throw the ball. The talent has to run the route. The talent has to catch the ball. The talent has to put 17 feet down and make a football move to make it a complete catch. Hashtag Dez Bryant still caught it, but we digress on that. I will give you that the coaching puts in many hours. Yes, even at the high school level, I put in 8 to 10 hours a day watching film, trying to put my kids in the best spot. But at the end of the day, the talent will overtake coaching every time. So, who gets interviewed at the end of the game on a game-winning drive? Is it the offensive coordinator that say, "Oh, I called that perfect spike play"? No, it's Aaron freaking Rodgers because he threw a perfect pass to win the game.
But see, now you're getting into the politics of it, and this is the thing that blows my mind. Yeah, they're gonna go and talk to Aaron Rodgers, but the reality is this: that they don't talk to the coordinator. They definitely talk to the head coach. Right? So the head coach get talked to just as much, if not more, than the players. And the reason they talk to the players is because fans want to hear from the players, and they like that. That's just part of the politics of it. It's sort of like when you get donations and a charity, yeah, most of the people in there you probably wouldn't even hang out with on a regular basis, but they gave money, so you smile and you brown nose with them. It's ridiculous, but that's what they do in a lot of these events. What I'm pointing out to you is this. Think about what the coaching do. Now, you as a coach yourself said you put in 10 hours a day, right?
Right.
Which means that 10 hours a day you're watching film, you're preparing everything mentally to get it there. And I see the comments in there where they're talking about, hey, the guys got to execute. All that's true. But how do they learn to execute? The coach puts them in a position to learn the problem. In other words, they're practicing these things. They're planning for different scenarios and they're going through each one of these. Hey, if this happens, this is this. It's not just what happens when you're in the game. It's what happened in the offseason. It's what happened in the player evaluation. Part of being a coach is understanding a player's weaknesses and strengths. I'll give you a perfect example. One of the things that I've noticed when looking at some of the most bottom feeding teams is they often put players in bad position. Here's looking at you, Urban Meyer, drafted a running back to play slot receiver and Travis Etienne, but that's not the important part. The important part is being able to understand that the hours that go into making sure you get it right is what makes sense. For example, we all love movies. Many of us have already seen or are going to go see Spider-Man, right? Do you think the actor just showed up and decided that, hey, this would be cool? Backflip, woo! There go my web sling. Nope. Somebody coordinated the look to give you the feel that what he did was impossible and amazing. And that's the person who should get the credit. Yes, we all love the actors. Everybody loves Denzel Washington and the Equalizer and Denzel Washington as Malcolm X when he's portraying these roles. It looks great. What about the person who mastermind the look great, who created this direction to do it? Those are the people we are not answering to. Those are the people who are important. And to me, the idea of talent being the case, history tells us it doesn't matter if you have all the talent. A lot of teams have talent, they still don't win. Why is Cliff Kingsbury getting ready to go into another year where at the end of the year he's fizzling out? It ain't got nothing to do with talent. It's coaching. And it's just the reality of it. If you see that you got a quarterback like Kyler Murray who's struggling, you can do some things coaching wise to kind of help him. Maybe you run the ball and have him throw shorter routes to get him back into a rhythm. This plays a bigger part of it because yes, we all have problems. Hell, I have problems. I do things at work sometimes that I've done 100 times, and then I get to work and it's like, how did I do this again? It happens.
Right.
So
Yes.
I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying to an extent, just because I've been on both sides. I've been a player and I've been a coach as well. So and I've seen a coach that has taken all of the glory because he's like, oh, that's my game plan. I put that game plan in, which is he's complete douchebag and got fired.
Urban Meyer.
But we'll go ahead and digress from that. But it is absolutely asinine to me to think that talent does not win games. So everybody in the NFL, or let's just broaden the spectrum here. Everybody in professional sports is a professional athlete at the end of the day. They have world class talent to get them to where they need to be. Now, it is all about gelling as individuals. Coaching does not make you gel as a team. Coaching does not make you say, hey, Hopkins is my best friend and we think alike, right? Like coaching, you cannot force people to like each other. That's where talent comes into play, Luke.
Yeah, but you don't need to force people to like each other. You need to force them to understand the assignment, to understand the job. Let's get outside of sports for a moment, go into military. You think everybody in the military like each other and they troops?
Hell
Hell
no.
no. Right? So the goal is to be able to teach people to still get your job done, even if you don't like the person next to you. Your job depends upon the person next to you. Your success or your failure can be contingent upon the person next to you. And when I look at sports, I often see these moments where it's teams winning in spite of coaching, right? Like I watched it with the Dallas Cowboys and Jason Garrett. All the talent in the world should have did 187,000 things, but Jason Garrett was Jason Garrett. He's not a good head coach, a pretty decent offensive coordinator, but not a good head coach. And at the end of the day, the talent was winning. They was winning games in spite of the talent. And when they needed him to make coaching decisions, it just wasn't there. The decisions was not there. It didn't make sense. And we often do this.